Williams, Upstairs to the Right Music. So today I'm setting up to do a bass recording session. So I thought maybe I would take a few minutes and tell you how I record bass guitar in this case today. Now what I used to do is I used to play, oh by the way, I think I've showed you this before. This is my 1984 Fender Jazz bass. Really good bass guitar. Had it for a while now, and yeah, good stuff. So how did I used to do this? So prior to my modern setup, or my most current, not modern setup, that's not really, most current setup that I'm doing. So the way that I used to do this is I used to go directly into my software, which is Studio One. That's the software that I used to record with, using a Steinberg UR12 interface. But I would plug my Studio V3 tube MP into that, and then the instrument to this. Now this is a true tube preamp. They're very cheap. I mean, I think you can get these for 50 bucks. But inside it, this is a real tube. I believe it is a AX7, yeah. So in any case, it really does make a big difference when you're going direct into your recorder to have a good preamp. I know some people will go directly into their software, and their software has preamps. I like a hardware preamp. I think that there's really no replacement of true tube sound. So for years and years and years, this is what I used as my DI box. Recently, I acquired this Koch Industry dummy box. This is a dummy box that you can use for recording bass and guitar. Believe it or not, it actually has a mic position switch here, so you can choose where your mic, either close up or back up. It's got some DIs, I'm sorry, some, what do you call it? You can choose between speakers here. So it has some bass amp cabinet simulations in it, built into it, a 1x12 or 4x12. It's really cool. This also is tube driven, so I seen the thing, as I seen the call, yes. So in any case, this became my secondary DI box. So then I stopped using all of that stuff and graduated to using the Mark Bass 250, the little Mark. This is a bass amp head. Not cheap. They're in the $400 to $500 range. You can get one used like I did. You can get it under around $350 or so. But this is what I plug directly into now. So I go directly into the Mark Bass 250, and then I picked up the, what is this? I picked up the Cab Zeus Mono. Now this Cab Zeus Mono is really a game changer for me, because built into it are bass and guitar speaker IRs. So you can choose between a myriad of different bass and guitar IR speaker wise. Right now I've got this set to a punchy 10-inch speaker, closed back. You can simulate how far or to the side or to the left or right your microphone is. So it really is the hardware version of what I've been doing software wise. And I don't know if it's the tactileness of it, being able to hit the knobs and be able to touch it, but I actually prefer it a lot better. So that's my new current bass recording setup. I'm going through the Mark Bass, Little Mark 250, into the Cab Zeus Mono, using the bass amp simulator IR, and then going into Studio One. And it really does work. It sounds great. It works for me. Sounds good. It works, and I'm getting probably the best quality bass sound for my recording that I've gotten probably outside of the big studios that I've worked in. So for my home studio, I feel as though my sound quality, my options in terms of recording have improved. as they should over the years. You come up with new ideas. You know, I know a lot of people like using the computer for the IRs, and certainly there's a lot of software out there that lets you come up with a lot more choices than you would get into CAB ZEUS. I think there's only 6 different bass amp simulations, but you know what? I don't like having too many choices, because you know, I find what works for me, and then I just record. Because if you spend all day like, oh, let me try this one, oh, let me tweak this one, let me do this, you're wasting time that you should be doing recording. So this setup is really straight up. I've got a setting on my Mark bass that I like. I found a CAB ZEUS bass simulation cabinet that I like. I'm ready to go. So that's anyway how I'm doing my bass recording and guitar recording these days. In any case, just like everybody else, we're here. We got to make the most of the situation. I'm making the most of the situation by recording at home, working on my album. I hope you're taking advantage of this time too to strengthen family ties, work on that project that you never got a chance to work on. Whatever floats your boat. Just stay safe, keep yourselves well, and I'll talk to you guys next show. Take care. Bye-bye.